Ich bin ein Berliner. That was the worst accent. Willkommen to German Beer Geek, Part 1. This is going to be a 4 or 5-parter all about the nation that people see as one of the homes of great beer. Today we're talking about one of the major events in German beer history, the signing and the writing up of the Reinheitsgebot. Before we kick off, I'm drinking a bottle of Berliner Kindl Weisse. Berliner Weisse is a cloudy, sour white beer. A white beer, or Weisse beer, is a top fermented barley or wheat beer with suspended yeast and wheat proteins, giving it this hazy white colour. It originates from medieval beers that didn't use hops for bitterness, but instead used spices and plant blends like coriander and orange. Berliner Weisses are very low percentage beers, originating from Hamburg and northern Germany, and there are 2 breweries left of the 700 that once existed in northern Germany producing this type of beer. The sourness is generally created by a secondary fermentation in the bottle, so be sure not to do this with it. They're usually served in a bowl-like glass with syrups to take away from some of the sourness, but I'm going to try this one as nature intended, and with a raspberry syrup that I've found in a cupboard. Baby in a Jug brewery Berliner Kindl is known for its Weisse beer that I'm drinking today, and its more widely available Pilsner. Baby in a Jug. Baby in a Jug logo is supposed to represent beer with a lot of head. Get it? Head. Let's give this one a try. So here it is, Berliner Kindl in the closest thing I can get to a bowl glass. Head in a jug, can you get out? Head in a jug. Oh, there's so much sediment. Here we are, the Berliner Kindl, nice hazy. It's actually not as opaque as I thought it would be. Nice carbonation, quite quick dissipating head, but quite nice thin white head. Yeah, sort of dirty, watery, yellowy, hazy colour. Nice. Oh, that's henky. Oh, that's a honky stinkus. It's very lemony, smelly. Quite sour. It's an almost sort of dusty, vomity aroma. Oh no. Oh, what is that? It's quite an oily, milky texture, not very nice mouthfeel. It's very dry in the mouth. Definite lemoniness. It's pretty sour. It's more tart than sour, I think. It's that sort of sucking on the lemon sort of thing. It's not very pleasant on its own. I'm going to add a little bit of some syrup to it now and try it out. Welcome to Syrup Sized. Today I'm drinking M&S Scottish Raspberry Cordial. I don't know how much you're meant to add. I'm just going to put some in. Oh, that's pungent. Oh, that smells like jelly. Okay, so we've added some raspberry cordial to this Berliner Weisse style. Let's see if it takes away from some of the sourness, maybe adds a little more depth of flavour. That's a lot better. That's nice. That's kind of like a sort of Belgian Kriek style. Yeah, it's very refreshing, thirst quenching. And there's a nice little bit of sourness there. Sort of that tart raspberryness really goes well with it. I've actually got a raspberry Berliner Weisse style from the Buxton Brewery, which we're going to be trying in an episode very soon. But this is actually pretty good. Let's talk about this Reinheitsgebot then. The mouthful of Reinheitsgebot literally translates to purity order, and we know it in the UK and across the world as the German beer purity law. It's a regulation, as I'm sure you can guess, concerning the production of beer, and it was set up by the Holy Roman Empire and the country that followed the Holy Roman Empire, Germany. The long and short of it is that the only ingredients in beer can be barley, water, and hops. The law originated in 1487, and the dukes in the regions around Bavaria endorsed it fully. Now, you may notice there's something missing from the list that the Reinheitsgebot states should be the ingredients of beer. The thing that makes it beer: yeast. No mention of yeast was actually found in the original document, and it's probably because yeast wasn't actually known to be an ingredient of beer until Louis Pasteur discovered it. So in 1993, the Reinheitsgebot was binned and replaced with the provisional German beer law, which allowed for things like wheat malts, yeast and cane sugar to be added as ingredients to beer. The penalty for breaking the old Reinheitsgebot was uncompensated confiscation of all your beer barrels for the policeman to drink. Police beer. And many breweries across the world today still use the Reinheitsgebot as sort of a marketing ploy, stating that their beer is Reinheitsgebot compliant. It was actually written up for the benefit of bakers to prevent price competition for wheat and rye, since the document also set a ceiling for the price of beer at between 1 and 2 pfennigs. Nobody really brews in accordance with the Reinheitsgebot anymore, since they all add yeast. And it was written up really to protect bread instead of beer. Now don't get me wrong, bread is great. It wasn't really either a guarantee of good beer, and it put a limit on a lot of the beer styles that we know today. Having said that, it's still a big part of German and beer history in general, and now you know all about it. So if you want to be a super dick, you can go to a pub, order a pint and ask if it's Reinheitsgebot compliant. And you won't be allowed in there ever again. That's all for part 1 of this mammoth German Beer Geek series. And stay tuned for part 2 coming very soon. From me and my sour child in a pint glass, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2, Oktoberfest and the breweries of Munich. Remember to subscribe if you like what you saw, and like us on Facebook. I'll see you next time.